must be out of my mind. Would I go chasing after? I had myself to blame. I knew it meant disaster. My house went up in flames. I ran until the morning with my heart from my chest. I put my soul into this. I can't control myself. Why do I still try to chase this? I can only hold my breath. All my sanity has gone, and I cannot control
I got deja vu when I saw you at a table at a road spot set for two. With that look in your eye when you smile like you always do. But this time it wasn't me that was sitting there next to you. But I'll be fine. It might take a little time, but I think they'll be alive. That I'll say to my friends, but they'll know I'm not alright. Cause I saw forever in your eyes, but I think of forever. I think it's out of time. It's out of time. Think it's out of. I still catch myself thinking back to you to remember how good it felt. Now I see him in your pictures and it gets me overwhelmed. But if you ask me how I'm doing, I would say I'm doing well. I'm doing well. But I'd be lying. It might take a little time, but I'd say I'm doing fine. That's what I'd say to my friends, but they'll know I'm not alright. Cause I saw forever in your eyes, but I think of forever. I think it's out of time. It's out of time. Think it's out of. Was I taking my time or just you for granted? When I fell for you, I never planned on landing.
Hi, and welcome to the Blender Render Roast, the show where you submit your artwork, we review it, and give you feedback to improve. I'm today's host, Daerik. So let's get started with Joris' submission. He made a planet with some rings around it and some very triangulated spaceships of sorts, kind of like that game Asteroids. Now he's mixing something kind of realistic with the atmosphere and all that, with some very simple spaceships, which I don't like. I think he should simple down the planet a bit, make it more polygonal, I guess. Maybe marking all the edges, or instead make something more spacey, add some stars in the background. The spaceships could be fine, maybe fill in the gaps with red so they don't seem so polygonal. Yeah. And the planet, I don't like how it is just a simple texture in this case. Kind of like a cracked snowfield or cracked ground with the white color. Planets tend to be very complicated in their color composition, in their landscape. It's always a good idea to add some craters, maybe mix some colors for the atmosphere. Control T, what? Oh yeah, no, to make it all triangle, Control T, the shortcut in Blender. I found an example online of a planet that looks really good, and as you can see, it mixes a bunch of colors. There's a light beige, some green, the blue of the atmosphere, then the white of some clouds, and it also has a bunch of craters, and the color should change with the craters. So if you can try and find a planet online, I usually like to Google sci-fi planets, and that gives you good results. You could base your own planet in one of those, make it more realistic. It needs volumetric. There is a submission of someone who made a planet using volumetric, and it had a lot of noise, too many particles. It looked more like, I mean, I'll get to it when it's their turn, but it's like something inside a shoebox and just a little bit of light coming in. I feel like not having volumetrics works better. So the background is pure black, maybe have some stars, but it doesn't give off that shoebox dusty environment feel. Yeah, it does seem like a nice planet. So to recap, because Joris made some very simple spaceships, I think he should simple down the planet, showing off the polygons, something like that. Maybe it's just a couple circles, you know, so it all fits together in the same aesthetic. Or he could make the spaceships a little more complicated and add some stars in the background, maybe a galaxy, some more color. The planet is just a simple texture. I think you can do better. You can complicate things a bit, mix more textures in, add some craters, and it'll look really good then. Right, so thanks Joris for his submission. Next one we have the Jab, DJEB. It is a human figure that looks very weird and kind of disturbing. I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing here. It's like you tried making something out of plastic and you took it out real fast and then it started cracking, and this is the result. I really like the blue lights on the inside. They give off an alien vibe. There are some parts that are loose and those don't make much sense, but okay, it's fine. It doesn't take any credit out of the model. It does look really good, and as you guys can see from DJeb avatar, he does like hold on, is the music? Yeah, the music is still playing. I was kinda, he does like to do this kind of stuff using some skeleton and anatomy to make sci-fi-ish looking stuff. Something from Warframe. Kinda thick. The chat is not showing on the side because I have it programmed to show the Twitch chat, and I haven't gotten to showing YouTube. So yeah, I can still see all of you, so there's that. So how can the Jeb improve on this? The lighting is really well done. I feel like you rendered a really small portion of the scene. I feel like you could have used a bigger canvas, a bigger size camera. Otherwise it feels a little claustrophobic. You could show more of the shadow here of that figure. As for the model itself, when I looked at this, I got the idea of adding a heart in the middle here, but in a red color. So it would also give out that light, but be very complementary, opposite. There will be some contrast between the red and the blue, and I don't know, it could work. You'd have to try out adding a heart right here. I don't see the face of the model because this is the back. Doesn't really matter. We can see a lot of artifacts from the shading, like over here. I don't know how the gem made this. Must have added a subdivision surface. Then that tissue add-on, I forgot the name now. I think it's tissue something. A bunch of mix and match. But it looks cool. So let's recap the feedback. Looks really good. Nice lighting. Anatomy is correct. You have some loose parts, so watch out for that. Maybe you don't want that. It doesn't really take away too much. You just notice it straight away, and it might bring the eyes of your viewers to something they are not supposed to keep staring at. Try adding something red in the chest. I feel like it would look really nice having a heart there, and the contrast of the red. And I really like the glow. The Jeb makes awesome models with this kind of glow. It's really nice. How does he makes it though? I think you have an option to get the volume of the model, so you could adjust it so only parts of the model that have a very small volume will get a different material. That's what I think he's doing. The username is not my actual name, it's a random alt account. Okay. Damit der längsten Proline. Hey there. So yeah, thanks to Jab for the submission. And the guy with the most complicated name no one can spell. It's German. Now next one is from Cilantro, a spicy CC. This was for the crystals competition we had on Discord, and I'm not sure if this one won, but it's definitely like top 2. The lighting is amazing. The way the crystals work is not just a simple a simple glass texture. He has some. Damn the terms refraction. The refraction of light seems correct. It's not just straight up go over here and out. It's going inside and bouncing off of something. Looks really nice. The background, it is not plain. It's good. Adds to the volumetric lighting feel he has. This little glow is spot on. IOR, index of refraction, yes. The bowl is also very well made. It's not just a clay texture with some spots of low roughness. He used several grunges to make this effect. So some parts are rough, some are not. There are some it's not fingerprints, but the grease on the clay, some wear on the material. Everything is super well done here. I don't think I can point out anything to improve really, but I'll try. What could you have done to improve this render? If anyone has an idea, because I really don't know. It's super well made. If you use different colored crystals, it might look weird. You don't usually pair different colored crystals on a bowl for decoration. Yeah, I really don't have anything to add. It looks hand painted, but maybe that's just me or the compression. Hand painted? No. He has an ArtStation link. Let me open it on stream so you guys can see. It's gonna take a second for me to find it here. I think he should add a bit of dirt, but that's just me, yeah. A bit of dirt. It's an indoor scene, so it's not that common to have dirt inside, indoors. I'm opening the ArtStation here. Maybe the saturation for the crystals. Saturation, but then he would lose the color. I assume you mean tone it down, or more power. Tone it up. Bright purple. Hold on. Let's see if we can find some real crystal pictures here, and see if they do come in very vibrant colors. They do. That could work. But you would also lose color because it is transparent. In this image, it's very purple because it's a bunch of crystals together, so the purple light reflects, I don't know, between each other, bumping up the saturation. So even if it does make this more purple, I don't know. I don't think it would add too much. that's a good one. Signing his name on the pot. Yeah, it's actually a very nice spot for his signature. So there's an idea, Lincoln. Let's go back to Krita. So yeah, sorry Cilantro, I can't really help you improving this render. It's very well done. You are already on the pro level, I guess. So the only idea we got in chat from System Rush is for you to sign your name here. If you ever think about printing this. So yeah, thanks Cilantro/Lincoln for your submission. Next one is from Tammy, the one I mentioned before where he used volumetrics. So you might get the same vibe I got from this being a rock in the middle of a shoebox with just a tiny bit of light coming from a hole. This method, yeah. It's more square though. So it looks like a sphere with a displacement modifier set to a cloud texture and nothing else but that. What you can do, Tammy, is mix several textures to get a more complex planet. I've done this with a cake. Let me see if I can grab it real quick to show what I mean. Must have the render here somewhere. Yes, here it is. Let me get the emoji version. Yeah. So I made this cake and I noticed that the flour, the body of the cake, the thing that grows, this part has a bunch of holes. It's not just a perfect smooth surface. It has several imperfections. So I tried adding a noise texture for the displacement to make some holes, but they were all very regular. They all had the same size with small differences. So in order to make it more realistic, I mixed in another noise texture, but in a bigger scale to have larger holes, and mixing the two together made it more realistic. Yeah, you should see my fries plate if you want to really get hungry. So what you can do is add another noise texture and kind of isolate the dark spots, so you can add craters to your moon, your planet, or wherever it is. The problem is they would not be perfectly round. Yeah, they are kind of like 4 pixels together, and when you expand it's like a blob. So you would do better to either paint it yourself, some holes on your planet, or find a texture online that is a bunch of different sized spots. What else can you do? You could also add the space background. NASA offers a few. I have one in my gallery. I don't think I can open it because there is an HDRI, but if you Google HDRI space, you should find something that you are free to use commercially as well. Other than that, assuming it is an isolated planet, you could add an atmosphere if you want to. It doesn't need one. The moon doesn't have much of an atmosphere. HDRI Haven, yeah, best place for HDRIs. I don't remember if they have the space one there. But it's worth a try. And yeah, that's all I can add. So craters, space background, try an HDRI, and mixing several noise textures together to make a more complex displacement map. Alright, Tammy, thank you for your submission. Next one is from HD123. It's a Cyberpunk weekly challenge render. He missed the deadline, but by an hour, damn. But he still would like a critique. Yeah, let's critique it. Okay, first off, it's a bunch of color. It's too much color, I think. Like the windows are blue, there's a green line, red, red, red. You lose the city feel or feel. It's too much. I like how you use particles to make some holographic signs. That's a good idea. But the angle of your camera is not helping at all. You're looking up, you're looking down, up to a building. So there's basically just a building, and then you had to position those holographic ads in a way that you could see them. So the main thing you should do is move your camera away, maybe looking down or down a street. Try and find a better angle. I don't have a pizza render, that's a good idea. I should probably make a pizza. But continuing. I tried looking for sci-fi cities. I don't think I used the cyberpunk term, but this is what I found. I also said it has to be night. So it's a bunch of light still, but not that much color. It's mostly gray or blue. The green is isolated on very few spots. The sign here, the subway station, another sign there, some lights to the side. There isn't that much neon really. Maybe in Chinatown, but still. You wouldn't have like pizza, bar. You'd have like Domino's, Jägermeister, something like that. You'd have to come up with brand names instead of just food. Basically, I keep going and exhaust my figures, but the best critique we can really give you us go look at what other people are doing and try to emulate that. Yeah, always look for other work as reference. Concept art or real pictures, they always help. Let me just get caught up with chat real quick because I lost a bunch of messages. Yeah, Austin points out that the world looks like it is 3D and has no floor. It's like everywhere. System Rush says you should use bevels so they don't have that weird shading and they look more realistic. Atomic Science had a more colorful cyberpunk image in his mind. I also have this other reference. Again, it doesn't have much color except the blue because it's nighttime. Everything is dark and the only color is the lights you have. It doesn't explain why it's blue though. Why they use so much blue light? Camera angle, colors and tones. I'm gonna give you a summarization when I'm done. Let's see what else. This image here looks weird. The lag, it might be the camera angle, because as you can see it goes like too far and it's too thin. I imagine you took the image from the internet and used it as an alpha to make this sign. You could have probably used the same particle system but with the alpha, so it'd all be particles and not have that flat side. So you'd have two of those circles here, but one of them would be masked with that image, but it'd still all be dots. So to summarize, you should change your angle to show more of the ground. Look at other people's work, see what most people consider a cyberpunk city, and add your own twist to that. I really think you should try and come up with brand names instead of just saying what things are. Like the pizza sign here is great. Maybe add a little head chef, I don't know, something to make it more believable. And yeah, too much color. Try using, if you change everything that is blue to dark gray and you tone down the red so it's not just the lower side of this object is all red. Instead you have like a tube with emissive red light, then that would work better. So instead of applying emissive materials to objects, make lamps and use those emissive materials on those. Alright? So yeah, I think that's all I can really give you. I hope it was helpful. So thanks Atomic Science for your submission. Next one we have from Birdie Browns. And I think Joey reviewed the same render on the last render roast, but I'll give my take. Oh yeah, the feedback I give on renders right here rarely ever serves to improve the render you've made, because you're kind of done with it. You don't really think about going back to improve it and then repost it. But take what I say for the next work you make. It's not just, it doesn't only apply to the render I'm reviewing. It's a workflow feedback. Okay. So the main thing about Birdie's scene here is the light, I think. It is too neutral. It is not highlighting the pool table, which is the focus of the scene. What I think you should do is add an area lamp. I mean, make an actual lamp object here and add some sort of area lamp. I think a point lamp would work better actually. So a point lamp over here. A spot lamp, sorry, spotlight to shine directly onto the table. Highlight the green. Make a little gradient here. Yeah. You added a window here on the back. It looks strange to me. These are blindfolds, but they're barely blocking any light. It's all coming down this way anyway. So they might as well not be there. Maybe they didn't want to show a background, which is valid. But if that's the case, you might prefer to have a night scene, so there is no background to see, just darkness. The pool table doesn't have any bevel. I don't really mind things not having bevels, because I really appreciate an artist that knows how to spare polygons. So if you don't have a bevel here for a more realistic pool table, you can always add it later. But having the knowledge and talent to make it look close enough to the real thing without using as few polygons as you can, it takes hard work. What else? The stools here. They're very confusing the way the legs work. Is it like twisted? Or is it actually making a side view here? Is it like this and they are parallel, or is there like a twist where on one side like this but on the other side it's like that? I don't know. Strange, but it doesn't, it's not wrong, it just looks strange. I feel like you could have taken this column out. It's just taking away the camera real estate here. Window is missing most of the window, it's just the shutters. That is true. I mean, if you're gonna have the shutters covering everything, you wouldn't have a reason to put a glass in there. You would make the lighting look weird. You could add like a painting over here, or maybe I don't know what it's called, but it's where people put the pool sticks over here. You're definitely missing that in the scene. There are no pool sticks. There isn't a triangle anywhere to be seen. One of those little squares with the chalk. A pool rack, thank you system. It could use depth of field. True. If we focused on the pool table, yeah, that would look good. Especially if with the column here, then the column would have a purpose to show the depth. Good idea. As a subsurf artist, sparing polygons is literally what I'm worst at. A window frame, okay, but this is not unbelievable. There are houses that are made out of concrete where the window goes in between here, like it's just a hole. It does exist, it's not unheard of. The light coming from the window is too strong. Yeah, it's making you look at the wall and there's nothing there. So it's taking away the attention of the pool table. Hence why I think a nighttime scene would fare better. The ball dispenser is too round. You might be right. I'm pretty sure that Birdie made a cylinder and then used the Boolean modifier to make the holes. It's what anyone would do. Let's take a look at an actual pool table and compare. Let me just hide my notes. So the square 45 is definitely right. The hole might be a perfect cylinder, but the entrance where the balls fall it's less curved, it's a little more open. Tables do have protection on the sides, So if a ball hits it too hard, does not damages the table, doesn't damage the table. And here's an example of one of the lights you could make to grab all the attention for the pool table. I have another example here of a scene you could have made. Like, this is an actual picture, but you can easily make this in 3D with depth of field, and it would look good. The hardest part to emulate this scene will be the lighting. Yeah. And I think that is it. So you should, to summarize, you should add a pull rack with pull sticks and a triangle, or put the triangle somewhere else. You might want to add some cubes for the chalk they use on the end of the pull stick. I feel like you should change it to a nighttime scene so you don't have that light coming from outside. Create a lamp right on top of the pool table and use a spot lamp or maybe a point lamp, I don't know which one would work better, to highlight it. I thought you meant that is for the stream. What? Oh, make the room brighter or the lights from the window less intense. But yeah. Make the room brighter or the light. Huh. The room is already pretty bright. In fact, so bright everything is neutral. There's just one shadow here, really. Maybe he's using ambient occlusion. If where it is, I think he should turn it off in the world settings. Do add the depth of field suggested by chat. It would give purpose to the column you have here. And another detail, the white ball is slightly bigger than everything else. They seem to be the same size to me, so make the colored balls smaller. And you're also missing the other half of the balls that have the stripe, so yeah. Suggested by System Rush, the depth of field. And they are a Logitech, I think it's G430. I think I bought them in 2015. I can at the end of the stream I can look it up. Maybe answer it in the Discord. So thanks Birdie for the submission. Next one we have from HP 2009. It's a night scene of what I assume is a couple taking a walk. I feel like Perline has a problem with people stealing other people's other artists' credits. Damn, too many S's. Anyway, let's take a look. The first thing that jumps to my eyes are the fingers on the models. I can see they are 3D because you wouldn't draw a hand doing that pose. So that's an actual 3D model of a person. In fact, I think those two models are the same, judging by the nose here. No, the nose is slightly different. Maybe it's the angle. But they do have the same height. The hands do seem too big. But this being a human model, I would assume they are anatomically correct. I don't like how they have this distance between the two. Like if they are a couple, they should be closer together. Maybe they had a fight, but there's no indication, and the environment is not appropriate for that. So I definitely bring the two of them closer. And try doing something to hide the hand. It's not that they look bad, because I don't know how they actually look, it's just a silhouette. But they are distracting, it's too much detail for a shadow. I found a reference online that looks pretty similar to what you're trying to do. Here's one. The couple doesn't like sad pieces. Okay. The human face is exactly known for its variety. I mean, male and female. There's definitely some size differences there. So the two of them are close together. The background, yours. The background with all the colors and some details on the front. There's also this one that is basically the same thing you're trying to do with an actual photo. And it's the couple. The girl is shorter than the man. It's usually the case, but you don't have to follow that rule. And there's also a camera adding to the story that they went out to the mountain at night to look at the stars. So you could try doing that, adding a camera, bring them closer together. I feel like the colors on the back here is a little too much mix and match. There's blue and then there's this weird purple here. The red down there is fine, but then the red is back up here. Yeah. So try and make more of a gradient, adding just a few splashes of color. Like take this for example. The horizon there is brighter, but it's still the same color as up here. It's just higher value, I guess. And there is, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see some like waves of color, which is the sky. So you can add that. If it had less color, it would look better. It's not the same color, it's different, but yeah. And I know it would be kind of difficult to make that part right there with the trees and the buildings. So you could just skip that and add like another hill there. The fact that these two are simply 2D shadows takes away a lot too. Like all the color in the sky is not affecting the things in the front here. You would be able to see some of the ground at least, a little bit. No, not in this case. I guess I'm wrong then. You wouldn't be able to see. But it still feels too 2D, you know. Ah, I see. It's because they are going that way. Because they're going to the right, they're not looking in the distance. That's why it feels too D. The waves will be clouds, the ones I mentioned here. Yeah. Also, the stars you have here, it's strange. It's like a noise texture where you took away everything that is not pure white. Because you have like this splosh here. There's a bigger one there. These two very close together and the same size. There's a weird one there as well. From a distance it's not too bad, but when you look into it, it's strange. Actual stars, they are, everything is round, like a perfect circle. Shading the couches slightly with a light blue color on the edges to add some reflection. This fit to the image. Adding it here. Adding like this tone here, affecting the models. No, I don't think it would help the render. It would look strange, like they are too close to the sky, you know. Yeah, the moon is good. So to recap, try making the two of them closer together. Don't use too many colors on the background. Work a little bit more on the stars, make them perfect circles or very close to being perfect circles. Using a noise texture doesn't usually work, because stars are a bunch of layers of depth, stars of different sizes, and the noise texture is simply 2D. I recommend you hide the hands because they are too detailed and they catch the eye. And consider making them look to the distance. Maybe look at the moon there, because if they are walking to the right or to the left, it gives away a very 2D feel, like it's more of a drawing. Nerda still sense that the hands are too big. Maybe reevaluate the hand size. So thank you HP 2009 for your submission. Next, from Griseldi, he tried to make something racing related. Okay. So you have this sort of futuristic car. I can see it is low poly, maybe it's meant for a video game or something. It looks like there's two of them. Now that I look at it, because here's the wheel of this one, and here's the other wheel. So over here is another one. Yeah. an image or also modeled? Looks like an image. Judging by the tree there, yeah, I think he made the street and then added that image in the back and blurred it out using some filters or some math. You can also do with math. The car itself is strange, mostly because of this part. He is holding the wheel by the front, so I feel like he would fall back, especially when it is not going forward. But if you added another one over here, then it would balance things. You could also add it to the top. I don't know where your vehicle ends, because you cut the image short. In fact, it looks like, assuming this is part of the vehicle, it is going out of the wheels. So this whole thing is one wheel, the wheel on the right, and this one far back is the other wheel. Your proportions don't seem correct. Maybe it's the angle of the camera, but they seem too far away. Yeah. I tried looking for a photo of a race car, and this is what I found. You can clearly see the shape of the car, and the background is running. I think there are streaks. It can look like it's moving really fast. The wheels are also rotating, and you also missed that on your model. Because if this guy is moving super fast, I will not be able to discern the pattern on your wheels. But how would you simulate the wheels rotating? You could make a real short animation of them actually rotating, or you could affect the material, and that might look fake if you don't know what you're doing. So yeah, I suggest you make an animation of them rotating. Yes, it does look super low poly and kind of like Borrow, mostly because of those symbols, which remind us of aperture science. The wheels, mask them out and add the circular blur effect. Oh, like in composition or after you're done, yeah. But yeah, he would have to mask them out. It's hard. Yeah, but it does look weird. Aperture does look way different, but it reminds us because it's white, black, and there's the symbol there. Also the futuristic design. What else? You should probably position him more in the center. It is a good idea to have an empty space in the front, so we know where it is going and doesn't feel like it is running away from the frame. But I would like to see the full extent of the wheels there. If necessary, move your camera back a little. So to recap, the proportions of your vehicle design are very strange, mostly based off where it is holding the wheels. You should simulate the rotation of the wheels as well if this car is racing forward. Position him a little a little more to the right so we can actually see the whole vehicle. Otherwise, we get confused by the shape here, and initially I thought there were two cars here. Did I forget anything? And you might not want to add too much wear when making vehicles, especially new vehicles. Like, this is too dirty. Assuming this is like an ad for a vehicle like this car right here, there isn't a speck of dust on it. It's a new car. And you also gotta train your hand to make some straight lines. I know it's hard. Sometimes it's easier to make an outline and then close the gaps. But yeah, it's too irregular, the paint job on the vehicle. So thanks Griseldi for your submission. Might be the turn of one of the animations we have to... I actually skipped it a bit. So let's go take a look at an animation made by Mu Korea. Mu Korea. One of those. It's a GIF, so I won't be able to pause it, so we're just gonna keep repeating and stop at some point. Is that cool glass? It's falling down, hitting the ground. Lifting some dust / smoke and breaking the ground. The initial frames are strange, because the camera is moving up as well, it seems. The blocks go flying. I think he used the explosion modifier to make that look realistic. Also the self-fracture. Yeah. I feel like you could have fractured the ground more, especially on the centerpieces, because everything underneath the ass would be completely destroyed. It would basically be dust or little pebbles. The smoke does not look good for me. Would refine it with force fields, says Perline, one of those. Smoke simulation is super costly. I tried doing it once, and it took me 58 hours to render 30 seconds of a 60-second animation. It's not worth it. I would fake the smoke with alpha textures and whatnot. But yeah, it's super not detailed. Yeah, like a lot of detail on that smoke. Maybe you simplify it because of the cost. But yeah, it also looks like it comes after the ass hits the ground. It should hit the ground, then there's a little explosion of smoke up into the side, so a cone, and then it spreads. Go up, out, and spread. The ass itself is it's a simple object, metal material, not much to judge there. The shader looks good. The camera should shake more, says Nerd. The ass should move when it impacts. Not in this case, I think. It is like a super heavy object, and it is to looks like a logo or a brand. So you hit the ground and you stay there to show the brand. It's not supposed to be realistic in that front, but if you wore anything else, indeed it would like hit the ground and go up a little bit to adjust and then roll off. But it looked good. So to recap, fracture the ground more to have very tiny pieces, especially in the middle, flying away. Try and add more detail to the smoke so it looks more realistic. And you missed and you're not making it go up from the middle and then spreading. You're just, it hits the ground, then it starts to spread the smoke and then go up. It should hit the ground, explosion, settles down, and then starts moving up. But there's literally no way of pausing this, huh? But the final frame looks good. It would be nice for an ad or something. So yeah, thanks, whatever your name was, I'll review it later. Thanks Mu Korea for your submission. Moving on now, we have one by System Rush who's here. Just find here. Some people questioned how can you make the, I forgot the name now, but the impossible triangle here in 3D. It's not really that hard. You just have to not actually make that object. You just cut it down over here and over here. So it looks like Penrose triangle. So it looks like it is a single object, but in 3D, in actuality, it is not. You did make it. Okay, we have questions. It would connect there, then be the downside here. I have to try and make it myself. I never tried it, but you did actually make it in 3D. It is like it's like the object on the side here. It was mentioned in Avengers Endgame, the Mobius strip. Yes. It's called Smoke and Mirrors there. Ah, okay. Topology, please. As Austin. The main problem I have here is that water here. I don't know what it is doing there, and it doesn't look good. It's too much wave, too much movement. Water usually sits still. You have little bobs, but not like dunes. This would be more appropriate for desert, you know. Yeah, so you did use one of the tricks I pointed out here, cutting the object before it connects and then lifting it to look like what it is. I like how this is a sphere that we're looking inside and there are some wires going about. The flow of the wires is believable. It goes straight out and then moves. Yeah. It's good. I have no idea what this thing is. That shell outside. Maybe we're looking at like a bomb and he cut it in half. But then why would the outer shell be so irregular? It's meant to... This is not meant to be water, it's meant to be a plastic-ish compound or something. You saw in an Adam Savage video. Okay. Sure. Some underwater cityscapes using a certain compound that sorta looks like water. It's okay, so it's more like a gel. Okay. And this gel is inside this bomb we are seeing a cut from. And it just spilled out. Resin? Yes. Resin. It is resin then. I've seen resin. It is even smoother than water. Hold on. Plastic resin. Abstract bomb, sure. Liquid plastic resin. Don't show it very well, but you can see it's like alcohol. It's transparent. You can add color to it if you want, but it is smooth. It doesn't make the waves. The waves don't make sense. So definitely work on the displacement of your resin here. I really like the effect of the Mobius strip here. Mobius strip circle with several loops. It's a nice looking object, especially when it's made of those bands slash planes. When I search for references like bomb, guns, or human, I am wondering what CIA or Google thinks. I'm sure no one cares. So, System Rush, can you explain to me this outer shell? I don't understand why it is so irregular. I think to improve the scene, what you have to do is remove this outer shell, remove the resin, and just maintain that smoke in the middle part, because that looks really good. I don't know about the wires, you can keep them, but yeah. The outer shell is meant to be glass. Why is it irregular? Why is it an irregular sphere slash circle? Yeah, I understand. I think that's all I have to say. Yeah, I really think you should get rid of the glass and the resin. Just keep the middle bomb thingy there, because that looks cool. But yeah, thank you so much for your submission and for being on stream. Shattered glass specifically. Okay, now it's complicating things. Oh, it would? Huh. Interesting. Next one we have from Nerda. It is a Neon Genesis Evangelion. I think they are called Evangelion, so Neon Genesis Evangelion. I should probably grab a reference, especially for people that don't know the anime. So, Neon Genesis Evangelion, the main Evangelion. The art circle looks very nice. Detail. Mm. By the way, a bunch of spoilers here, it seems. Here you can kind of see the guy, but not full. Mini Evangelion front. Eva 01. Oh, hey, I found it. Okay. Oh, there's one there. This one's even better. Let's just take this guy and paste it over here. So it has the three holes there. Yours is a little more. It's better spaced. The 2D is not consistent. Like this one is super close to the front, and this one is further away. So I like yours. You made this part green. It's not green, but I still like yours. Hey, you added a bunch of green everywhere from the Rebuild movies. Oh, they are movies. Still. So I'll just assume where you use green, it's supposed to be green. Nice. Okay, so you follow the design, and that's correct. So let's review the model itself, the shaders and materials. It is kind of transparent, or at least I get that vibe. When I opened the submission on the Discord, it looked like you could see through it. But no, that's not true. It's just giving off the vibe. I think you should tone down the metallic then. The metallic on all of your materials basically. So it doesn't reflect as much. Looks more to look more plasticky, although it is metal. Just so it doesn't give a weird vibe. Oops. It is very well done. Everything is correct according to design. Nerda said this is over 221,000 triangles, so it's way above the margin to put it in a video game. Still looks dope. Making a phone, Austin. What can you improve? Yeah, the problem with following the design of something is that I can't give you feedback to improve the design because it's something that already exists. So definitely turn down the metalness, maybe the roughness too. You can adjust it better. Because currently the gloves look like latex and the torso looks like it is transparent. Used an emissive material for the eyes, and it is a weird shape, so kudos. Yeah, there's nothing to improve besides the materials. You could try putting him in a background, you know. Get an HDRI of a forest. Oh, he would look tiny. You would need like a bird's eye view from very far away, so it looks big. I use figurines as a reference. There are some websites, especially for Gundam, that provide the instructions for the toys, and you can use those as reference for 3D modeling. But anyway, thanks Nerda for your submission and for being on stream. Next one is from Dreamplay. This is his finest work. It seems to be a lightsaber, I assume from a Sith, but I've never seen this one before. Judging by the points here, I think he used Subdivision Surface. I've made a lightsaber before, and if I am not mistaken, this part is plastic, but like a rough plastic, so it should not reflect like it is right here. I don't think it is a problem of the material, it's a modeling problem. You should mark the sharp edges as sharp, so the flat shading works on the edges. Hold on, someone is messaging me. Okay. So definitely trying to add some sharp edges to that part. Some sharp edges here as well. Yeah, maybe you could benefit from buying the hard ops add-on, then you just have to press a button and it does everything automatically. If you want to, you can enter the competition on our Blender Discord, and if you win, you get the add-on. Ooh, the entire launch sequence, nice. Another problem from the render is that there is no lighting at all. It's just like ambient occlusion or symbol word lighting. You could try adding some colors, an HDRI, to show off the model better. It's kind of sad the way it looks right now. It's super neutral, just gray, you know. Try and add some more flavor to it. The reflection of the golden piece looks nice, but the rest is very rough. Yeah, there is no reflection at all here, like it is rubber. And I don't think it is supposed to be rubber. Now we have to turn on ambient occlusion, at least in terms of word lighting. Yeah, try and work on the gray material as suggested by the German Proline. And you could make the lightsaber, like it's easy. I even make it. I've made a stream when I was making my lightsaber. I showed off my process, where I had the tube, and then a white emissive material, and also the colored emissive material, and mixed the two of them using a Fresnel of like 0.9. So the colored one is inside. Sorry, the white one is inside, where it's brightest, and the outer edge is colored. So to recap, add some sharp edges to make the shading work on your materials. Work on the gray material so it reflects light the way it is supposed to. And you could always add the lightsaber for a better effect. So thanks Dreamplay for your submission. I think there is another animation now, or is it later? No, later, yeah. If you guys don't mind me taking a 1 or 2 minute break right now, I really need to drink some water or something. I'll be right back, okay? In the meantime, you can look at my portfolio. I'll be right back. Oh hey, there's a lightsaber I made. So yeah.
Even when you're low, you can let me know. You know I will show. Now we're sipping the Bordeaux. With you through it all, winter through the fall. You just make the call, yeah, I'm in it for it all. I'm in it for the love, cause love it needs to touch it. You're pressing on my buttons, babe, let me tell you something. I'm in it for the love, cause love it needs to touch it. You're pressing on my buttons, babe, let me tell you something. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love. I'm in it for the love.
And I'm back. I wanted to make a pizza. I'll definitely do it one of these days in my own stream. I'm adjusting the volume here. The music's not too loud. Ah, it's fine. Let me just see. Hollow Knight? Yeah, I made one. That man pizza. Ah, pizza's so good. I'll make a. I have to decide which flavor to do. My favorite one is pepperoni, and that's kind of like the classic. It would simplify the toppings, just making the pepperonis and then adding variations, so I could focus on the cheese and the mixing with the sauce. Some oregano particles too, but anyway, let's get back to the render. So this one is by Lasercat and is an abandoned vehicle on a swamp, it seems. Let's see. It looks like there is a stream going on the side. Looks like it is rushing like super fast, so try and calm down the stream, make it more still. The car, it's missing the back wheel and it's kind of stuck in the ground there. Since I assume this is a swamp, I can believe it kind of sunk. It is sinking there. I recognize that tree. It's from an add-on. But the leaves are not, so you've made the leaves and then used a particle system, or maybe it is from the add-on too. I don't know now. The ground material here is good. You have some particle grass, but you have some stretching here for the part that is near the river, so gotta fix that. The mud. The car is very well modeled. It seems like a waste to just throw it over there. Make it sink. Ah, I see. Can you guys see the seam here? Right there. Maybe this car is not well modeled. Maybe it is just a plane. So he was trying to hide that fact. I mean, it's not a fact that I don't really know. I can't tell. The lighting here is definitely hiding it if that's the case. I am aware this is a little off topic, but I saw you made a Hollow Knight and I can't help myself. Here's a session of Hollow Knight. Okay. I like the fog. Yeah, fog is good. It's using volumetrics in order to have that shadow there. Having the bright spot over there is taking away the feeling that it's like terror coming. You should probably do something about hiding that. What else? The car is not dirty. You should probably add some mud over here, some dust to the windows, yeah. Maybe some leaves have fallen. You know, no normal stuff. You definitely need some variation on the grass. It's just too much of the same. So to recap, hide that bright sunspot on top. Try adding more dirt and wear to the car, because it must have been here for a while if it is sinking. Try adding another type of grass or plant to your grass particle system. Fix the stretching on the texture here going into the river, I mean the stream. And consider making this stream calmer, like flatter. Looks like the water is rushing, like there's motion blur on the water. Some wheel prints on the mud. That's a good idea. Got like a path here. Oh, you bring another issue. Where did this car come from? I assume it crashed on the tree, meaning he must have been coming from over here. Or something. It must have come from that direction. It wouldn't come from behind the tree, then over here, then you stop and let your car sink. Unless you were murdered. Ooh. But then the murderer took the wheels. Ah. Or someone placed it there just for fun, just to screw with the cops and detectives. Yep. Fun stories. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I like the volumetrics. And I like the car model. Thank you, Lasercat, for your submission. Next one is from Austin, who's in chat right now. He made a modern X type of thing. Looks like you could do a bunch of things, judging by all the attachments. It's an X, obviously. What else can you use it for? I don't see a bottle opener, so there's that. Always need a bottle opener. Okay, I don't know what any of those parts do. I just know there's an X. It's just a prank, bro. He also included a topology image, which I always like. So I can judge that. And for example, Austin is wasting a lot of polygons in several parts, like over here. You don't need that inner ring. I know why he did it, and I'll come to that in a moment. You don't need this edge right here. Yeah, the whole side. You don't need it. It is straight. It's unnecessary. Over here. The inside of here as well. So the reason Austin added those edges is because he's using subdivision surface here. You can tell because this edge is not touching. So this is not his actual topology. It's just his low poly before being affected by the high poly. Before being affected by the subdivision. He also has some bevels, as you can see right here. Or maybe it's not a bevel, but just the subdivision. Is this topo for a game? I don't know. Does it have to be? He had the circle here, then he adapted the rest to join in. That's good. Good work. We're here as well. It is for a game. Maybe you could take one of those out, but you'd have to try one of those here. Be a whole edge loop. Texture is really good. The blade is an actual blade. A lot of people make the mistake of doing like a very small quad there. The blades should be a single edge every time. Looks awesome. There is some wear, and it makes sense. Carbon fiber texture for the futuristic look and to show the resilience of the two. Nice. Again with the unnecessary loops here. So yeah, Austin could save a lot of polygons just by going in and deleting the inner loops. I like how he thinks you use Subsurf. Makes me feel like a Subsurf master. If it's a low poly, you could have gotten rid of a lot of that grid bit in the head. Over here. Yeah, maybe this one you don't need. in the head of the X and put in triangles instead of connecting one side to the other. In that case, yeah, the geometry can be heavily reduced by collapsing a bunch of edges if they don't affect the silhouette too much. Yes, that's the main point. What is the nice material on the grip handle? It's carbon fiber. Self-made? I don't think it's self-made. Austin must have taken it from somewhere. Worst case, no, I don't think Substance has a material like that. Some Substance. Oh, it does have. You have Substance 2 or the newest one? I have Substance 2 and I've never seen that material. You can find one online, it's easy enough. But yeah, let's judge now the X itself. The way it looks. So the handle is holding the blade, meaning the X was forged as a single steel piece, making it very resilient. Nice. It has some bolts here to hold that carbon fiber case. Awesome. And over here, I'm having trouble understanding what's happening. Because this part right here, it looks like it is attached to the blade, the X blade here, but you didn't add a soldering, a fusing texture, and you don't have a bolt, you have some holes here. You could say it is magnetized, but that's a bad idea. Maybe the metal keeps going until here, making this large piece, and then this guy connects over there, but it would be fragile. You would not couldn't keep it holding over here on the plate. 2018.1, so it's the same as me, I think. Oh, there's a lot more to it than retopology. Your texture also has to be efficient. Your UVs, they have to be as square as possible and occupy as much of the square grid you have as you can, so you can put as much detail as possible, but you don't want some parts to be a lot bigger than others, because then it would show in the texture. Fucking, I know your UVs, Austin. They are not amazing. I mean, I judge the Master Chief armor you've made. This is a 4K texture. But it's for a game, man. You don't use 4K for games, especially on a weapon. I always have problem modeling screws. I mean, the head. For screws, I would use a normal map for the X. It's just a drawing. But if you want to actually model that hole, you'd have to take a sphere, then select the middle edge and everything beyond it to extrude, mirror it, and then you'd have your X, and you would use a boolean for that. Or maybe you could use some cubes. the video in the ArtStation post. Okay, let's do it. No problem. Yes, 2K is definitely enough for most things. We tend to make 4K textures so we can downsize them later. So those are the UVs of Austin. Those are Austin's UVs, and yeah, they are bad. So right here you have, I assume it's this guy, just the outside shell. I don't know why it didn't include another layer there. And then it is, oh, it's not joining there. Okay, this is the X head. Again, it's just the flat plane. This one is down there. No, stop. Go further in the video. Oh, those aren't final. Okay, forget everything I said. Sorry, Austin, I didn't read that. I'm gonna skip through so I can find your UVs. Oh boy. Right now? So you think this is good? It's the same problem here. You're just taking part of the X head for the UV. You're not including something that is right next to it. It should be part of it. And also you have overlapping UVs, meaning the texture on this side is gonna be the same on the other side, and that's a problem for game assets because we have light maps. We texture objects to have the lighting included in the color, so we don't have to waste render time, processing time, calculating how it should look on that lighting, on that color. And if you have overlapping UVs, the light map on one side is gonna be the same on the other side. So let's say you have that X exposed or holding on to something. If you look on one side, it's gonna have like the flames of a candle nearby. And the candle is not on the other side. And if you look on the other side, it's the orange is there as well. If this was an anime, then Diego would be the dense protagonist and Austin would be the energetic fan service. Can I still add the render to the Discord? Yes, you can. We've been roasting. Sorry, I've been streaming for over 2 hours now. I don't know how much more I'm gonna go for, but as long as it doesn't go for more than 3 hours, we're good. Jesus Christ. Austin has an add-on called UV Packmaster, and it does a really good job of packing your UVs so they occupy as much space as possible on the grid. The problem here is Austin has too many UVs, too many pieces. They are separate. So he grabs those and put them on empty spaces, but they are not connected to what they are supposed to be. And it's a real hassle to make masks to texture and stuff like that. But yeah, the X looks awesome. It makes sense. The topology is good. And you just need to watch for, and the material is also great. You need to watch for your UVs, Austin. Thank you for submitting your X and for being here on the roast. Next one, I think, is an animation from Ryan, or should I say Rye Bread. I don't remember if this has a sound, so I'm gonna pause the music and up the volume. Oh boy. So that's the back of a Yu-Gi-Oh card. Yeah. Hold on. Rendering issues. Is the animation of the summoning of a Yu-Gi-Oh monster that Ryan had made before. Oh boy. Okay, so now let's review the animation. Gotta turn on the music again. I feel like this whole section with... Oh, I see. Done. Yeah, me increasing the quality of the video here made the music have higher quality too. That's causing some lag. There you go. I'm sorry. So this looks like the back of a Yu-Gi-Oh card. And I don't really know why Ryan made this. Looks cool, yeah, but it's unnecessary for the summoning of a monster. The static sound is too loud. Austin had his ears exploded. Then you make that weird circle, which I assume is on the card. This is super cool, well made. I like that. I don't know why he launched the lightning orb. I think he should have made the lighting orb increase and then, I don't know, compress it. Or just turn it off instead of moving it forward, because he's not attacking anything, he's just being summoned. The model I reviewed before, and it's great. I think you've made some adjustments that made it a little better. Improved it a bit. The eyes are great. So yeah, let's review that hand movement. I like how he's coming out of the... Oh, I'm gonna check this right now. I like how he's coming out of the circle there. But what I think you should have done is you have the Yu-Gi-Oh card of Jinzo, then turn back like the animation you've made, then you turn it around to show the creature, and he walks out of that, not that weird circle you've made. Oh. The idea was that the back of the Yu-Gi-Oh card represents a trap card and the ball was Jinzo disabling it. I would never have guessed it. Besides, Jinzo doesn't destroy cards that are face down. If it is a spell, for example, it still works. His effect is that trap cards don't have any effect. Okay, his shoe changes a bit. Nothing crazy. Does look like he is like being magnetized, but not a problem. Especially at this speed. Then the light orb. He has that purple aura, but there's no purple light, it's just white light. Yeah, you should add some... I don't know what's happening right now. The lighting. But if you don't have that purple thing being set to emissive, you should probably do that. There isn't much finger movement. That makes it easier to animate, so good job noticing it and then taking advantage of it. And then, assuming you follow my idea of having the card in the back, you can maybe then zoom in to have the I don't know how you would include the circle if you had the card back there. Or maybe you just turn the card, Jinzo walks out, and while he's doing the lighting ball thingy where you can see the back, you change it to that circle. Ooh, that's good. Yeah. So to recap, I think you could let go of this whole animation you've made in the beginning, and instead have the back of a Yu-Gi-Oh card just zooming out from. Then you turn off the static sound you have here, or turn it down and turn the card around. And show Jinzo walking out of it. And then somewhere around here you change the card that's behind him into that circle. But the animation is smooth, the model is great, and I really like the lightning ball effect. Very well done. I don't think I could have made any better. Yes, so thank you Rybread or Ryan for your submission, and I hope the next roast goes well, because he's the host next roast. Who's next? I'll be back. And now we have from Oregano, another spice making a submission for the render roast. First we had cilantro. Here. Just trying to grab a drink real quick. I don't know what that is. And I kept looking at it and trying to figure out, is it like an armor? then it doesn't make sense to have that that neck is too the opposite of wide or big. Skinny? I don't know. It's too small. The neck's too small. Is it like a bottle? Bottle of what? Exactly. And why is there a hole on the side? And I can't figure out what this is. So I'll just judge on looks. It's interesting. Very futuristic. I think this light right here is too wide, and it's not following the geometry here. I feel like it should be like this, curving a little with whatever this top thing is. The material for this part right here seems too damaged. I would take away all the damage, make it like a simple plastic. Perhaps include some dust. Yeah. I can't judge this part. I don't know what the buttons are for. The lens distortions is pretty interesting. I think that looks well on this model. I don't. I think it takes away. Because you're trying to show the model, not just the chest area. So having that distortion here on the bottom and the top, especially the top, you are not making it clear what I'm seeing here. I think it'll look a lot better without the distortion. It's kind of rare the instances where lens distortion are appreciated, at least in my opinion. Very rare to use it well. The orange details are nice. I feel like the middle part here a bit strange. You could do something else instead of using the same material here on a simple block. But what? Now I can't say. I don't know what you could change this to. Maybe join the two orange blades. Yeah. But I have no idea what this is. I think that's all I have to say. So to recap, oregano, I think you should change that highlight thingy to a more curved one, following the geometry. Top there. I would remove the lens distortions. I think it makes it harder to understand the model. I like the material on the chest, but I don't like the one underneath it. I feel like you should remove the damage, or at least some of it. And I think you could remove that middle part and do something else with the abdominal area. Yeah. And that's all I have to say. So thank you, Oregano, for your submission. Was this the last one I had open? There's two more, it seems, and then I'll go grab whatever is new on Discord. Next one is from Gurgiratk, and it's a woman standing at the edge of either a rock or ice. It's hard to say. The woman is very well made. Proportions are correct. The hairstyle is neat. Clothing is lacking. Yeah. But the environment is bad. Like, the background is just an image. This is just an image. And the sun is not clearly the light source. I think he used an HDRI, and since there's light all around it, it makes the sun look very weak compared to what's shining behind her. Oh yeah, kind of floating there, that's true. The rocks all use the same material, there's no details, and there's simple displacement here. The water is too wavy, like it's wild, something is shaking on it, or it is moving but in that direction and not there, assuming there's a waterfall there, because the world just ends. There's no forward here. This is like a cliff, but Gurky didn't position the camera so we could look down there, so we don't know. You should change, if this is a waterfall, you should change the way the stream is going, so it goes in that direction. This one is the main problem. It should flow over there with some streaks going in that direction. You could add something more interesting on the rocks, maybe some moss, some crystals. You should most likely make the rock darker where it's closer to the water. Austin sent me a YouTube video, hold on. Water is also more white and dark. I see what you're saying, Austin. I'll mention it at the end of the stream. No, don't open it. No, okay. I was gonna open on the stream. Oh, it's your phone. You see. I tried looking for a picture of something similar, and this is what I found. So it's a man looking at the sun, and the sun is super bright, super big, and there's just some details on the ground here, and then some hills. So assuming you're making a waterfall, you could have the camera real close to your character because it's detailed and it looks nice. Then you have him on top of there and the water flowing on the side. You have some plants around, I don't know. And make that sun really big, so much so that your character looks almost black here. Oh wait, it's not the back of the character, the guy. He's actually looking at the camera. Wow, I didn't notice. He's like looking over there. This is the front. Huh. Weird. I would be looking at the sun if it was me. So to recap, try positioning your camera closer to your character so you can get more mileage out of that good looking character. Have the portion of the water closer, have the portion of the rock that is closer to the water be darker. That's what water does. Try adding some vegetation and possibly, oh yeah, and include a very bright light source where your sun is positioned. What would I do? I wouldn't make a sphere and add an emissive material. I'd make an area lamp for that and then make the area lamp invisible. It would have to be round though, so there's that. Praline says that you should be careful not to have any shadow. Usually there is no shadow. Lego says that the water should be darker, but I disagree. I think it should be lighter, like a light blue. And I don't know how shallow this water is. The shallower the water, the more transparent and less colorful it is. Oh, and that also means your water is not transparent at all. Yeah. When making water, you should add a Fresnel so that the harsher the angle, the more reflective it is. Otherwise, you can see through it. Alright, so thanks Gurkrat for your submission. Next one is Wisdom with a very good looking wood material. He was asking for feedback specifically on how to improve the lighting. Yeah. Let's see. First, let me point out some of the details that I really like about this. Some parts of the wood are flatter than the rest. This is rarely done, and it is factual. It is like in the real world, and there is some grain going inside and in both directions, because the wood is cut and then the grain changes. Oh, Praline is Wisdom. Huh, I didn't know Wisdom was German. He used a warm light source on this side and a cold light source here, really increasing the value and beauty of the material. I think this is procedural. It looks kind of procedural. Wisdom, is it? The way this thing flows. It'd be very complicated to do this procedurally. How to improve it for lighting. Improve the lighting means to improve the normal map. Should be procedural. Okay, so it is procedural. What can you add the wood texture have? The wood textures have that you don't already have? How's your roughness? No, your roughness is good. The flatter parts are slightly rougher than the rest. You could try it in grease, maybe fingerprint, but then it wouldn't be an universal material, you know. Perhaps dust, small speckles of dust, but it would have to be everywhere. How would you control it? Smudge marks, yeah, the grunges. You could try adding. No, it doesn't make sense. I was gonna say add like a water puddle mark. Like when you leave a glass of water on top of a table, it leaves a mark. But that's too specific for a table. Like this material is perfect for tables. That's what I thought that. But you wouldn't be able to control the position in which it would appear, and it would repeat. So that doesn't work. Yeah, I guess smudges are your best option of improving this material. But I personally don't think it needs any improving. It's great already. But if you really want to push it, yeah, try using some grunges, smudges, fingerprints, that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's all I have to say, Wisdom or Praline. Thank you for your submission. So next we have someone from Naminos. He made a knife. I go grab the knife, and there's two pictures. Oh, the other one is the concept he used by a guy named Thomas. Should show up shortly. There you go. That's what he made, and this is the concept art. Let's take a look. The blade is not damaged. There's a lot of smudges or grunges. So it was used a lot. There are some scratches there, some rust it seems. Oh, it's blood. So a blood stain on the very back. I feel like this part would be the most stained with blood, considering you would stab someone and it would remain inside for the longest. Some more blood here, that looks nice. There's a battery in the button. I assume it is to launch the blade. It's what makes the most sense. Because you don't need an electrical system to make the blade come out. No problem. It's my job, kinda. I mean, it's not my job. I don't get paid. You also copied the battery. Well, yeah. Everything is according to the concept except the color of this part. I don't know why you've made it different. Maybe you just felt like it. Ah, there is something different. Here in the back, it's not and the handle is not straight. There is a metal part in the back, but the casing does a small curve here, and you just made kind of a bevel. It shouldn't connect over here, it should be straight down, I think. Yeah. There's oh, this is weird. This part is, oh no, it's just like a blade there. Okay. You don't have that. You have like a cut. Yeah, this is kind of confusing, but it's making a shadow, so it's a part that is elevated over there. So you should have like so you thought this made it's a single piece there going up, make the shadow there. That could be the case. Yeah, my theory doesn't make much sense. Yeah, that's true. It electrocutes when you press it, I guess. I want to create a grimy version of a texture set that doesn't have blood. No. I really like the blood details. This one doesn't make much sense. You would not put your finger there unless there was a button or something, because you hold the knife like this. Unless you're like putting your finger on the blade for some weird reason, you could break your finger if the guy hits your knife. I feel like this would be the most bloody part. Or maybe, or the other side, because that's where the fingers stay. I really like the details here. The straight angles, yeah, that looks super good. I don't understand the screws there. I mean, they can't even be screws because it doesn't come out the other side. They're just bevels. There's the safety there, but how does it work? Just press it? Weird. So yeah, it looks nice. I think you should get rid of that blood stain, put it somewhere else where it makes more sense, like on top here, maybe over here on the blade. That's the only, oh yeah, the I don't know the name now. This protection thingy. It shouldn't be beveled like that. It should go straight down, just a little bit to the side, so you can actually see the metal that is underneath. I could be wrong, but I think this is too large for a knife. Unless you go, yeah, unless it comes less wide as it goes along. And there's that. Yeah, it could work then. Okay. So yeah, very well done. Good job. Nominus. Next one. It's from Wisdom again. Oops. It's a sniper rifle. Just gonna put it on top. Oh yeah, there's that. Gotta make a new layer there. So it fits the canvas. Let's see. Definitely a lot of noise there. Careful. You use depth of field. I can appreciate that you tried using less polygons there, but that should definitely be rounder. Even if you have to double the poly count on the scope. Looks good. Figures are hard to do. That one is well made. The cartridge, yeah. I don't know what's the function of the lights there. They just give you away to the enemy, but okay. There's something written there. It was like the distance your scope is pointing to, something like that. It's night vision, I don't know. Looks nice. Some damage here on the metal. That's not a light, what is it? It's definitely giving the... It's gone. Bloom? The bloom effect? Yeah. This one is 1 year old, wow. Lens flares. Reflection. So you have something with a lot of metalness and almost no roughness there, but only on those 2 spots. Or maybe that's just your light sources being reflective. Hey, Mobin S. So yeah, it looks good. Especially for 1 year ago. Wow, you've improved a lot. What could you do to improve this guy? 1 year ago, I don't think we had... Did we have the denoiser already? 2018? I think we did. No, it was like in the middle. It's when the 2.8 alpha came along. So you didn't have denoiser then. So yeah. Hold on. Thank you, Wisdom, for your submission. There's just one more from Lasercat. With 2.79, it wasn't like... Oh yeah, that's true, that's true. Yeah, I don't like the lens flare there. It's distracting. I had a cheap laptop which just doesn't allow for high quality renders that time. That's why I have this noise. Okay, wow. That is awesome. And who made that? It was Lasercat, right? Here's another one for me. The other render he roasted was a real fully modeled car. This render was just to show off my NSX that I just finished. Could have done a better job on the headlights though. They seem a little too small. I don't know what model car this is, so that I could compare with the real one. Let's judge it anyway. Real good job on the wheels here. I don't know if normal cars have that brake thing. I think that's more of a race car thing, but I'm not sure, so which one? You you forgot something very important here. and also here. Safety is top one priority. So some car details you missed. 2012 Acura NSX Roadster. See if I can find a reference there. ABS? What does ABS mean? It has a very large part there. Invisible mirrors for invisible security. So here's the real car, and as you can see, it has those details I pointed out, except the safety belt. Safety belt? The thingy there. The thing that saves your life. Yeah, I don't see it in any images. Why? It's like hidden. That's hard to believe. Why would you hide something so important? Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, it's on the seat. Oops. It's like over here on the seat. It's not on the side like a normal car. So you kind of wear it like a backpack? I guess. The seat belt. It's a seat belt. So yeah, it's... Put on my car backpack here. That's the one I modeled after. A type of brake system. Ah! I didn't know that, so it does exist. Be a lot cooler on low profile. That's what he made after. Okay. So feather security is pointless. I don't know what's happening here. I like. Is this too thick? It seems a little too thick. Yeah. That part is very thin, but then it has a darker layer for the mirror. So you're forgetting that as well. To make the dark layer on the mirror, you could either make an indentation and then use different materials, or you could without having to change the texture, or add a texture for that matter. You would have to use a gradient circular texture and then add it so it fit. It wouldn't work. Yeah, you're better off doing the indentation and making this thing more round and less white. Yeah. How about this guy? This is a perfect circle, and it has a flat side as well. So you're missing the flat side and the perfect roundness it has. And that's on both wheels. The bumper here on the side. I can't really see it, but I'm gonna assume you have it there. Is this how you open the door? Strange. Yeah, it doesn't have a clear indication of how to open it. I mean, you can clearly just put your hand inside and open it, but yeah. In the front. Yeah, you don't even see the headlights if they're there. Don't need mirrors when self-driving. Good point. But in fact, you do need them in case you don't want to use the self-drive feature, or you can't, like, maybe it doesn't work on every kind of street, you know, especially on rural states stuff. Could have used a quick shrink wrap. Wheels on raft look smaller. They definitely look closer to the ground. But as for the thickness, yeah, it's close enough. Yeah, it works. You do, however, you should add a little loop here. That takes a lot of polygons. Yeah, it's fine. Don't add it. It's fine. So to recap, on the wheels here, you have a flat side, and it is perfectly round. You are missing the mirrors on the side and the middle one. The front window, it should have a smaller frame, and there's a darker part on the edge. Other than that, the car looks good, especially from afar. So yeah, good job. Was Lego who made it, right? It was from LaserCat, so yeah. Thank you for someone submitted something else. Oh, LaserCat. Yeah. Here's a car with mirrors. You made this one as well. Let me see. Oh, sorry, kind of tired. That is super high poly. No, my mistake. I just saw the reflection. A weird bump there. This one also doesn't have the dark part on the glass. You're also missing the main mirror there. The rear view mirror. That's weird. And the flat side here. I think all cars have it. So yeah, I think that does it for the Blender render roast. Can you show your art session? You mean mine? Sure. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. I would just like to address something before I log off. Sometimes when I am critiquing some artwork, I end up saying this looks bad, or this wasn't well done, kind of giving a bad comment or someone, kind of offending some people. I do it because I want to be 100% honest, and if I don't say something is bad when I think it's bad, you might think, oh, it's not an actual problem, and you never know that you're doing it wrong. So even if it offends you, I hope you don't take anything against me. Just know that's my opinion. Maybe some people disagree, they think it's good, but I'm gonna give you what I actually think. All right. So on that comment, thank you all so much for watching. Next week is gonna be Ryan doing the render roast, so make sure to submit your artwork for next week. And we only do it if we have at least 10 submissions, alright? So yeah, I hope to see you all next time. If you wanna go into the Discord, there's a link in the description. Alright, bye guys, thank you all, I'll see you later.